Welcome to Blue Zone Software's Introduction to HostFront. The purpose of this demo is to get you familiar with what HostFront is and how a .NET organization can incorporate legacy information into their integration projects. The intended audience of this demonstration is a technical resource who wants to learn how to install, configure, record, and consume the output of HostFront. HostFront is a very powerful solution, so this demo is not intended to replace the administrator's guide or to be a complete end-to-end instructional video. We'll start with a brief slide presentation to provide you a foundation for understanding the product, then switch to live recordings of the product installation, configuration, recording, and consumption. Let's get started. In this presentation, we will quickly cover an overview of what HostFront is, the key concepts that make it advantageous to use, and how it fits into your network. Then we'll take a closer look at the components and what role they play. Finally, we'll show you how to record host transactions, output them as .NET objects, and use them in your projects. HostFront is both a server and an easy-to-use development tool used to create and deploy services that utilize legacy applications. As a VB or .NET developer, you can expose business processes of legacy applications as web services or .NET classes. Once a host transaction is recorded, it is automatically generated without coding and can be used by .NET-rich clients or web applications. The ideal HostFront usage scenario is when a project involves the use of Visual Studio.NET as the preferred development environment, screen-based integration of 3270 or 5250 data streams is required, and time to market is important. HostFront even works in conjunction with Microsoft's BizTalk server, extending BizTalk's reach beyond the mainframe access already provided by Host Integration Server in order to provide a visual screen-based integration tool for 3270 and 5250 data streams. Web services and .NET classes built with HostFront can easily be integrated into BizTalk orchestrations and used in its business rule composer. For the purpose of this demo, BizTalk is not used. Let's look at some of the key concepts involved. The SLI, or Screen Logic Interface, accesses and records transactions. Simply navigate the screens and drag and drop inputs and outputs. These will become the method parameters and return values in the generated .NET class. This enables you to leverage and preserve the business logic built into the host application. HostFront is completely non-invasive, which is ideal for maintaining the integrity of your data and business logic. It uses the familiar Microsoft Visual Studio development platform and allows you to deploy a secure, scalable, fault-tolerant solution. The HostFront server is Windows-based and can be configured to run from the internal network, the DMZ, or an external network to expose selected data to third-party entities, such as in B2B or B2C scenarios. The web-to-host solution is highly secure. The three-tier architecture provides an obfuscation layer that avoids direct screen access from the client to the host systems. This means that clients can connect only to HostFront, protecting the host. Furthermore, the HostFront server requires authentication prior to authorizing any action. Finally, the communication between the client and the HostFront server can be encrypted using industry-standard secure sockets layer encryption. To ease firewall issues, HostFront can communicate with clients over HTTP or HTTPS. Let's take an overview of the HostFront components. When installed, the HostFront server actually consists of a number of Windows services relevant to the host environment you want to support. It features a Sentinel service used to monitor application response and a clustering service to handle load balancing and failover between multiple servers. To boost response time performance, HostFront can maintain pools of host sessions pre-navigated to desired sections of host applications, avoiding connection, sign-on, and navigation time costs. The HostFront server also installs components in the IIS web server. This allows the HostFront data traffic to be tunneled over HTTP or HTTPS, or you can choose to use direct TCP/IP connections. The next component we'll cover is the Host Access Manager. Its main role is to provide the storage mechanism for HostFront in the form of a SQL database. You can connect to an existing SQL Server installation if you currently use one in your organization. Otherwise, HostFront comes with a distributable version of Microsoft SQL Server. The database is front-ended by the Host Access Manager. It provides central control of all accesses defined to use HostFront. The Host Access Manager is very simple to use, and the new Quick Configuration Wizard enables you to define host connections, sessions, and user access in just a few minutes. HostFront keeps security in the forefront by allowing you to define users with 3 different levels of access, allowing complete administration, restricted management, or simple read-only access. Next, we'll cover the Visual Studio.NET plugin. The HostFront plugin, or HFLI, is an advanced Visual Studio.NET extension based entirely on managed code. It's fully integrated with Visual Studio through the vsip interface and generates classes in C# or VB.NET and can automatically wrap them in web services. Developer interaction with legacy applications is completely visual. Developers simply navigate through a series of host screens, defining both the input and output fields necessary to complete a business function, while HostFront generates the code as they go. HostFront also includes an ActiveX control. This component is a fully functional emulator and has multiple roles. For developers, it will act as the interface you use when you record your host transactions. Also, it can be used independently as an embedded green screen component in any .NET application. Lastly, users can connect to HostFront via a browser for web-enabled host access. Now that we have been introduced to HostFront and its components, let's get started using it. Our demo has been recorded in segments which allow you to navigate to or repeat certain sections at will. In addition to this presentation, there are 4 additional recordings: installation of the HostFront components, configuration of Host Access Manager, recording of a host transaction, and finally the consumption or utilization of HostFront's output, in this case a .NET class.